Hello everyone, welcome to this presentation. My name is Inata. I'm studying KAMK in International Business major. Today I will give you a presentation about psychological barriers in business transfer and successions. So today we will learn why many entrepreneurs delay business transfers and how to overcome the barriers itself. Okay, so the transferring a business to a new owner or generation represent a pivotal moment in a company's life cycles. However, many entrepreneurs hesitate or entirely postpone initiating these processes, and these delays are frequently rooted not only in the structural and financial challenges, but also in profound physiological barriers. Recognizing and addressing these obstacles is crucial for facilitating successful and timely business transitions. Next, we have the internal barriers. One of the most pervasive internal barriers to business transfer is emotional attachment to the business itself. For many founders or entrepreneurs and long term owners, their business represents far more than just a source of income or a financial asset. It embodies their personal identity, values, and life worth. Years, often decades, of investment, sacrifice, and effort to build a deep emotional bond between the owner and the enterprise. The company becomes an extension of the entrepreneur's sense of self, making the idea of transferring ownership feel like a personal loss rather than a strategic transition. This emotional attachment often manifests as reluctance to let go, as owners struggle to separate their personal identity from their professional role. Letting someone else to take their reins can feel like relinquishing a part of themselves, which naturally leads to hesitation, resistance, or delayed decision making. Closely tied to emotional attachment is the fear of losing control and legacy. Many business owners are concerned that once they step back, their vision, standards, or values will not be maintained by the successors. They may worry that future leaders, whether the family members, managers, or external buyers, will make decisions that diverge from the original mission or potentially damage the reputation that they have built over the years or time. For family owned businesses, this concern is often amplified by fears of conflicts among heirs or the possibility that the next generation may not share the same level of commitment or competence. Owners may also be concerned about how their community, employees, or long standing partners will perceive the changes, leading them to cling more tightly to leadership rather than risk seeing their legacy altered. Next, we have procrastination or denial, a stage that are also common to be the internal responsive to the complexities of succession and transfer planning. Many owners acknowledge the need to plan but continuously defer discussion and decision making, telling themselves that there will be a better time in the future to transfer their business. This tendency to delay is often fueled by a combination of emotional discomfort, fear of change, and competing operational priorities. Business owners are typically consumed with daily operations, and addressing long term succession can feel abstract or overwhelming compared to immediate business challenges. Over time, this procrastination can evolve into denial, where owners convince themselves that transfer is still too early or unnecessary to address, even as risks to business continuity grow. Next, we have perfectionism. Perfectionism further compounds these challenges. Many entrepreneurs want to ensure that every detail of the transfer is flawless, waiting for the perfect successor, perfect timing, or ideal market conditions before they initiating the business transfer process. In reality, such perfect condition rarely exists, or I can say it's never exists. This pursuit of an ideal scenario becomes a form of avoidance where the fear of making less than perfect decision leads to inactions. In many cases, by waiting for the right moment that never comes, a business owner inadvertently creates succession crisis where the unforeseen events, such as illness, economic downturns, or sudden changes, force unplanned and rush the transfers. Lastly, okay, the last we have the I think the major internal barriers is uncertainty about the future, like stepping away from the business or they raise a series of unsettling questions like, will I have a financial security after the transfer? Or how will my role and purpose change in retirement or semi retirement? Or will my family dynamics shift in unexpected ways once the ownership and leadership responsibilities are distributed? This uncertainty can create a sense of full vulnerability, especially for the entrepreneurs who have devoted most of their adult lives to building and running their companies. Without clear financial and succession planning, this uncertainty can lead to significant anxiety, making the psychologically easier to postpone or avoid the transfer decision altogether. All of these internal psychological barriers, like I wrote in the slides, these form a powerful combination that often stalls or derails the business transfer processes. Unlike the external challenges, these internal factors are deeply personal and emotional, making them harder addressed through standard strategic or legal solutions. Overcoming these barriers typically requires self reflection, open communication with stakeholders, and sometimes professional psychological or advisory support to help owners to navigate the complex emotional journey of letting go. As I said before, we also have external barriers or external factors that also plays a significant role in shaping entrepreneurs' attitudes towards business transfer and can further complicate decision-making processes. Family dynamics, the first I say family dynamics and conflicts and interpersonal conflict often emerge as major barriers, particularly in family owned enterprises where multiple heirs or stakeholders may have different visions for the future of the business. Disagreement may arise over strategic directions, leadership roles, financial control, or even personal rivalries, leading to tension and deadlock in succession discussions. These conflicts are often emotionally charged, involving not only business interests but also long-standing family relationships, which makes objective decision making extremely challenging. In some cases, the absence of clear governance structures and formal communication channels exacerbate exacerbates misunderstandings and prevents constructive dialogues, causing transfer plans to stall indefinitely. Next, we have a lack of trust in potential successors or external buyers is powerful another powerful psychological factors. Many entrepreneurs are hesitant to hand over control to individuals they perceive or inexperienced, unproven, or misaligned with the company's value and culture. This skepticism can extend to external buyers, especially if the owners worry that the new leadership may prioritize profit over legacy, potentially leading to layoffs, cultural shift, or the dismantling of long-standing community relationship. Such concern often lead to prolonged hesitation or outright refusal to engage in transfer discussion even when financially beneficial opportunities exist. Next, we have perceive perceived lack of capable successors, whether internal or external. Owners may believe that no one within the families has the necessary skills, commitment, or vision to continue the business successfully. At the same time, they may also doubt the abilities of external candidates who lack intimate knowledge of the company's operation or community ties. This perception reinforced the belief that the entrepreneur is only the person who capable of running the business effectively, leading to reluctance to delegate or transition leadership. Okay, lastly, this one we have the community and peer pressure that can also exert a strong psychological influence. In many cases, entrepreneurs feel a deep sense of responsibility towards their community, employees, and industry peers. Selling the business, especially to outsiders, may be perceived as a betrayal of this trust, leading to fears of public criticism or damage to personal reputations. This is particularly relevant in the smaller communities or tightly knit to the industries where business owners are highly visible and their decisions are scrutinized. Owners may worry about being labeled as selling out or abandoning their responsibilities, which can generate guilt and resistance to transfer plans, even if much um, such a move might be strategically sound. Collectively, these external psychological pressures, like I write in the slides, create a complex emotional landscape that often overshadows rational business considerations. Entrepreneurs may postpone or avoid this transfer decision not because of a lack of viable options, but due to the psychological weight of these external factors. Addressing these challenges requires not only sound strategic planning but also sensitive communication, mediation, and sometimes professional advisory support to navigate interpersonal and social dynamics that influence succession decisions. Next, we have other barriers. Beyond psychological hurdles, Practical and structural barriers also inhibit timely transfers. First, many entrepreneurs lack awareness of how long the transfer process actually takes. This leading to the last minute planning. Next, we have complex legal tax and regulatory frameworks that often discourage owners from engaging early. And financial challenges like difficulty in valuing the business or finding funding for buyers at the more complexity itself. Moreover, some owners simply lack access to specialized advisory services or network that could help them to navigate the transfer process. Lastly, we have market condition that may also limit the pool of suitable buyers, especially rural regions or niche markets. Okay, that's all the barriers that we have, internal, external, and other barriers. So the next question is why many business or entrepreneur don't want to start the processes itself. Entrepreneurs and business owners are often deeply immersed in the daily operation of their companies, focusing on immediate challenges like sales, customer service, productions, and cash flow management. This operational focus frequently comes at the expense of long term strategic planning, including the development of structured business transfer or succession strategies. Many owners perceive succession planning as an issue to be addressed, later often associating it with retirement of or unforeseen emergencies, rather than viewing it as a continuous strategic process essential for organizational sustainability. As a result, critical elements such as leadership development, governance structures, and owner transition framework are postponed indefinitely. In addition, business transfer is often seen as too early or too complicated or unnecessary, that particularly when business is still growing or performing well. Owners may feel that initiating a transfer plan could create unnecessary disruptions, uncertainty among employees, or signal instability to stakeholders. Yeah, in many small and family owned enterprises, there is also a lack of suitable successors, either because younger generation are uninterested in taking over or lack of the required skill or perceive the business structure as unattractive compared to other career opportunities. The absence of clear succession candidates further discourages owner from formalizing a transfer strategy. Emotional factors play a powerful role in this dynamic. For many entrepreneurs, their business represents a lifelong achievement, a source of identity, and a legacy. The thought of handing it over to someone else can provoke feelings of lost control, fear of decline, or doubt about whether successors will uphold the same value and standards. This emotional attachment often outweighs strategic consideration, causing owners delay essential planning even when they are rationally understand its importance. In some cases, internal family dynamics like conflict between siblings, differing vision for the business, or reluctance to discuss sensitivity topics, these emotional barriers making transfer discussion even more complex. This combination of operational preoccupation, perceived complexity, lack of successors, and emotional resistance create significant barriers to timely and effective business transfer. Without deliberate planning, organization risks a leadership vacuum, financial instability, or even the dissolution when unexpected events occur. Proactive transfer strategies are therefore essential not only for safeguarding the business long term, but also for preserving the owner legacy and ensuring smooth transition for employees, customer, and stakeholders. Next, we have the several good practices that can help overcome these barriers. Early planning, starting succession discussion, like for 5 until 10 years in advance. This is give owners time to manage their both emotional and practical challenges by using mentoring or coaching programs that can support entrepreneur in preparing psychologically for the transition. The use of neutral advisors such as legal, financial, and succession expert. It helped to build trust and navigate the complex transactions. Okay, I can give you one of the examples in Finland. I'm sorry if my pronunciation is mistaken. So the example is Omistajan Vaidosinfo services, like I wrote in the slides. And these services offer step-by-step guidance and connect entrepreneurs to financial instrument and specialist advisors, making the process more structured and less intimidating. Family businesses benefits from clear governance structures such as family charters or and advisory boards, which help mediate conflicts and clarify roles. And the last thing that we can do is do the digital matchmaking platforms that are increasingly help sellers and buyers to connect early or immediately to improving the chances of successful transfer. So the last part is conclusion that we know that psychological barriers are often the invisible obstacles that delay business transfers. When combined with regulatory and financial complexities, they can significantly threaten business continuity. Addressing these barriers requires early actions, strategic planning, and external support. By viewing ownership transfer as a natural part of business life cycles, entrepreneurs can ensure that their legacy thrives in new hands. So I think that's all from my presentation for the psychological barriers in business transfer and succession. This is the reference for all the that thing I told you about. You can search it everywhere. You can, yeah. And then I want to say thank you for your attention to listening this presentation. I hope this helpful, and I hope your business transfer is doing well. Thank you, guys.